Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter back with the last two Sorcerer's Deeds before we finish the main story for Delta. Now, Delta has a lot of stuff post-game, so if you're thinking, wow, the story isn't that long, trust me, there's a lot more to unlock, some very long and wonderful scenes, and tons of content afterwards. So, starting out, we're going to go into Avalon here, and we've got Of Men and Beasts and the Reaper's Gloom. Men and Beasts is the the lower ranked one. This is 8. This is Monstrux. And the next one, the Reaper's Gloom, is a harder one. This is 9-star. These are actually above the difficulty of the main story, but I think we can handle it just fine. I think it would be good to nail out these stories before we finish the rest and find out the conclusion of the eternal recursion. Okay, let's start out with Of Men and Beasts. What are we going up against? Sawbones Ghoul? Okay, so just basic monsters.
Today, I joined the company of a living legend amongst sorcerers. Monstrux. The man who is nearly a monster. Monstrux assailed the monsters, looking almost like one himself. It is said that Monstrux has sacrificed more than 1,000 monsters. But these souls are not contained purely within his arm. They are encroaching upon his whole being. Monstrux aches with each movement, his whole body creaking in agony. But this has not kept him from the hunt. I rushed to his side, explaining that I would help.
Alright, so let's go take care of some Sawbones Ghouls. Since we've got 2 stories today, I don't think we're going to be hitting too much location lore. I think it's better to just sort of get in on it, and then we'll do about 1 for each. So we'll do like 1 location for this story and 1 for the next one. And I think by the end of the series, we'll have just a few left over that we can clean up in a lore video. Okay, let's get it on. Oh, whoa. I like how the game warns you, hey, you still don't have legs. Is that okay? No, that's not okay. Give me my legs back. And my spear. Oh my gosh. What was I even thinking? So, someone pointed out something to me that I was not aware of, which is that if you're doing a blood build, which I was in many of my other videos, I was using both a Regenesis seed, not this one, something that would heal you gradually over time. It actually cancels out the effect of the Arboreal Starveling's fruit. I didn't notice because the blood is so strong anyways, but it's interesting to know. So I'm going to think of some new mechanics of how to handle extreme difficulty quests once we get there. His right arm is said to contain the souls of every single victim he sacrificed. The souls are beyond his control. They rage despite his wishes. So what happens if you're an overachiever?
If my body and blood are no longer human, so be it.
Yeah, I'd say he's like darn near gone, but he's still in the fight. Just barely, though. Yeah, because we had that unscathed. Does a huge deal for getting that legendary ranking. So we got a new rock blanket, and we got a new swamp muck. So many spells we haven't used, but the point of this playthrough is more about showing off the story than it is all the different things you can do, because trust me, if I was going to show you off all the stuff you can do, this would be a very long series. And I'd much rather do that post-game, because there's more stuff to do anyways. So we've got Monstrux. Wow, he looks crazy. On we go.
We had won the battle, but Monstrux was drained. He paid a great price. Every minute movement sent spears of pain through him. He truly is a man who is nearly a monster. He could cross over the edge at any moment. He was a legend, but a lonely legend. People feared him. When I asked if I could accompany him, he reacted with great surprise, but did not deny me. He walked off, and I followed. I attempted to persuade him, to make him stop for good. Monstrux, the man who is nearly a monster. Why keep absorbing souls when it's clear they are destroying you?
I must kill my beloved.
Monstrux once had a lover. Her name was Amatria. Amatria, entranced by pleasures offered by a forbidden elixir, had been transformed into a monster. She was the love of his life, and now he wishes to put her to rest. Monstrux cut his story short. He looked ahead towards the void. There were more monsters to face. He does not know what form Amatria takes. She could have been the monster that we have just faced. And so, Monstrux travels, killing every beast he encounters, in the hope he will find her. Monstrux leads a frightful life. But sadly, his wish will never be granted.
Okay, up against the Phoenix. Well, this is a playthrough, so let me put on something that's interesting so you guys can see some new stuff. Let me try to find something I've never used yet. Oh, and I keep forgetting I need to refresh my feather. So we've got the generic one, which lasts for 1 minute and 20 seconds. I can cast it 8 times. I got one I can cast 22 times that lasts for 1 minute. Yeah, I think I'll take that. Sounds good to me. That's Harpy, I think. We also need to change out our platform. So they're both 12 casts, but one lasts for 90 seconds and one lasts for 60. So yeah, we'll take the better one. We do have this time magic, but the thing is I don't really understand how to use these yet. One of these days I will. Or stasis. Stop time within a set area. Health is consumed for the effect's duration. Like, does that allow... You know, let's use it. I'll show you. And maybe someone in the comments below can help me figure out how to utilize this in combat, because I actually don't know how. We got some lures, which is nice. Oh, we got the paintings. That would be funny. Are we able to paint all the lewd pictures? Let's find out. Cool. This will be fun. That's enough now. My words were reasonable enough, but he appeared not to hear me. Or perhaps he did hear me and chose not to listen. Let's find out. Let's do some paintings. What is this? Oh, wow. Let's charge it? No, I can't charge it. Same pictures? So I assume these will lure monsters that will come off after you. Oh, we didn't get the Sortiara one. And he went ahead and aggroed the monster. Great. Whoa. That would be the Phoenix. Okay, so let's hourglass this sucker. See, we stopped time. Okay, so is it just... Oh, Greg, no, I died. Is it just so that your teammates can wail on a monster? If so, then it seems very... It could be useful, but it seems also very multiplayer focused. Like, let's say people need to run away and heal. You could possibly do that spell for a little bit. Especially if you're Grim and you have tons of life, like 2,000. Maybe that's what it's for. Let's summon our lance first. Let's try this. Someone told me that you can, if you bring the apple here, and then you do a terrain on top of it, it actually generates a special effect here. It gives you more attack, it's plus 50, and it gradually heals your health. Which sounds like it'll be a really good thing for blood. Instead of just downing 2 apples for 200 attack, but then losing it when I heal myself, being able to have a platform that is basically a healing spot like an Escurgo. Okay, well that is very cool. I'm very happy I tried that. Let's try that again. Let's see what that looks like. So summon a tree. We can pick up the fruit. We can down it maybe. Then we're going to hold this. Wow, look at that. In this whole area we get 50 attack and we get gradual healing. So we can just like go crazy with blood. That's awesome.
It seems that this monster too was not Amatria. Later, Monstrux let out an odd cry. His body and mind were struggling to contain the 1,000 raging souls within him. Clearly, he has paid a higher price than a single man can take. It will not be long before he transforms into a monster himself. He's near his limit. But he did not heed my repeated cautions.
I will not end this. I will not change until I find Amatria.
His resolve is a stone wall. No words reach his ears. But still, I dared ask him one burning question. Why not save Amatria rather than sacrifice her? If his lover had become a monster, wouldn't the natural choice be to restore her humanity? So he should save the monsters. That would at least give him the chance of a favorable outcome. Monstrux's mouth contorted. He had spotted a target.
Kill first. Talk later.
That is all he had to say. His voice was nearly that of a monster already.
Mount Helios West. We've not done an ogre yet, which is interesting. So let's go and read up on it. In a kingdom of some note, a woman was appointed palace chef for the first time in its history. Once a simple town girl, she rose to such heights by applying all kinds of knowledge to her food. Not only did her cooking taste delicious, it had the power to cure illness and soothe the heart. Several years passed until, for some unimaginable reason, she was thrown into a dungeon to await execution. Lying in her cell, she had time to reflect on her life thus far. As a little girl, she cooked meals for her parents. Their smiling faces alone convinced her to become a chef. She devoted herself entirely to cookery, dedicating every spare moment to her studies of the art. By the age of 20, she opened her own restaurant and to excellent reviews. One day, privy to her reputation, the king summoned her to court. She cooked for him a short while before being named palace chef. Her culinary treats were spoken of in the highest regard even amongst foreign royals and dignitaries. The king of that day was known as a terrible hedonist. His requests became more and more demanding. If he tasted a dish he'd eaten even once before, however, his attitude would quickly turn boorish and sour. Against his cold stare, the woman would tremble violently. Using every culinary technique, she would serve one delicacy after another. To stimulate the senses in new ways, she sent for exotic ingredients from far-off places. That, in turn, proved to be her downfall. Using an unfamiliar ingredient, she unwittingly inflicted the entire royal line with food poisoning. It was therefore decreed she would be hung for treason. Now, in a gloomy dungeon, she awaited death. All she wanted was to please the king and his court, but this was her reward. And so the day of execution came. After they led her to the gallows, a question was posed. "Have you a dying wish?" The woman spoke up, but not to make her last request. To the king sitting in the foreground, she pleaded for one more chance. "To bring you joy with my cooking once more, your highness," she pleaded. After a long pause, the king announced he would give her 1 week. Immediately, she began to cook dish after dish in a great frenzy. Nevertheless, she could not eclipse the food she had made before. As each day passed, her efforts brought nothing but more anxiety. Even with 1 day remaining, she still had not produced anything of note. Despair set in. Although she was afraid of dying, it was her failure in the kitchen that brought her the most grief. With her sanity on knife's edge, she grabbed a kitchen blade to slice off her tongue, which had failed her so miserably. The moment she made contact, she heard a strange voice from somewhere. A mysterious chalice then appeared before her. The next day, with bandages wrapped around the bottom of her face, the woman served the king his meal. Her life may have depended on this dinner, but her manner appeared quite composed nonetheless. Upon tasting the food, the king attacked his plate with incredible savagery. After gobbling up every last morsel, he smiled as if in sheer bliss. And so the woman was pardoned. However, she showed not a hint of joy. Without a word, she left for the palace gates. The king, in response, ordered a guard to block her way. Even when the guard called on her to stop, the woman remained silent. Puzzled by her reaction, he questioned her. "Why won't you say something?" To that, she unwrapped the bandages from her face and turned towards him with a self-satisfied smile. Seeing her grin, the guard froze in place. Within her mouth, in place of her tongue, was a terrible darkness. Therein lay testament to the sacrifice she had made. For the king's dinner, she had made a broth of her own tongue. She had truly given a big part of herself to prepare his meal. Her commitment to her cooking was frightening in and of itself, but even more alarming was the wonderful flavor of her creation. Despite the truth being revealed, the king was hungry with desire for another dish. "I shall taste this cooking again," he commanded, "by whatever means necessary." She had produced a delicacy so exquisite that even the king's moral compass was turned askew. With an eerie smile, she nodded in assent. Knife in hand, she set out for the town at night, on the hunt for new ingredients. She takes a keen interest in passers-by as she searches out the next great flavor. That's funny. So let's go and we'll take that off. We don't need the drawings. The stasis wasn't really helping us much. Let's try something else new. Okay, let's summon a golem. That'll be fun. And let's use the special attack from Snow White. I actually have never seen this before, so this will be fun. For someone with resolution enough to turn half monster, He could have saved some. So, what does the Cinderella one do? Oh, that's nice, isn't it? This is why Avalon is nice. It's a glass cannon, but oh man, do you get some big spells. And what is this? Usha! We summon a golem. Die, must squash. Yeah, that's good. That's my child. Don't say anything bad about my son. Okay, so this is a sort of subspecies model of the, what's its name? What parts do we have to break? The very top of the chef hat, and then the thing that she's using to conjure up the stew, which is like a huge fireball. It's neat. Give me that bistro hat. Come back here. Monstrux, come over here. Let's lure her over. Oh lord, here she comes. She's gonna throw some magma soup on me. She got Monstrux. Oh shoot. Well, that hat is really high up there, isn't it? Come on, come on, come on. Okay, we need a heal, so let me do the wombo combo. That's so cool. I love it. Try that again. Now she's starting to scream, which means our platforms are going to get destroyed really fast, which sucks. Is this hitting the head? I don't think so. I might actually. Okay, that's enough. Let's fight this thing normal then. Oh, we still have the golem. Let's put that, because we got her right up against the corner, which is perfect. When you get a monster in a corner, the golems actually have like, you know, physical hit detection on them. They can trap the monster in a corner and just do quick work of them. It's very nice. Okay, cook your stew, why don't you? Come on. Got it. Destroyed all parts. Great. We do need to heal, but oh no, if I use it, I will exhaust it. So I need to go kill some thing, or I need to find a way. Oh, here we go. A tree to replenish my offerings.
Hard to breathe.
Right into the boiling soup. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. She's cooking up a meal for us. Sheesh. Okay, Fatalis. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. I gotta get out of there. Whoa, 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 whoa. How far back does that thing go? Sheesh. Oh, and I'm dying. Monstrux, come on. Buddy, 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 buddy. Save me. Save me, save me, save me, save me. See? You can save people. I'm teaching him the way. The path of Sanctuarium. Although he doesn't seem convinced. Can you imagine doing all this with 100 defense? As like an Avalon player? Oh my gosh. Like, you'd be able to fight from a distance, but it'd still be pretty tough. There we go. That was a good hunt. Okay, so we got the Chef's Mitter. Awaken the magic of the ogre to conjure an area of blistering heat. Okay, well, I can already imagine what that does. And Stone Fist, the Chef's Frying Pan. Okay. 304 attack. Dang. Okay, we're going to have to try that out.
Alas, the monster was not a Matria. Monstrux lay himself down and spoke. He once wished to save Amatria. But that was a long time ago. In fact, once he returned Amatria to her human state. But she was never to rise again. He had restored her form, still he could not restore her heart. She transformed into a monster again and ran off. According to those who have encountered her, she is a much more terrible beast than she was before. Monstrux said that it was better that he stay unaware of her new form. If he knows, he may pause and be unable to kill her. I felt pity for his story. Although, since we met, I have told him so many times. Give up. Monstrux will never kill Amatria. Not ever. For Amatria is already dead. I know this for certain. Why? Because I killed her myself. She was a monster that I slayed months ago by pure chance. She had muttered a man's name with her last breath. And now, Monstrux stood before me. He struggled to speak and told me more. He said it was his own fault Amatria had turned into a monster.
I'd used the forbidden drug long before she ever touched it. But the effect on her was more pronounced, and soon she could not live without it. Which is exactly what I wanted. Only I could provide her with it. If she needed the drug, she now needed me. That is how I made her mine. A terrible monster resides deep within my heart. Long before I was transformed into this.
We heard a mighty roar. Monstrux leapt up and pursued the sound. Monstrux is not fighting for Amatria any longer. He seeks a rest for his weary bones.
What a horrible, horrible person. So he's doing a drug, which is the blood of Terroria, and he's able to handle it for some reason. Probably because he's a sorcerer. And he gets his wife addicted, or his girlfriend addicted to a drug just so she can depend on him, the source of it? That's sick. Like this, I was really hoping they'd let me go against him and kill him at the end of this, because that's just messed up. You don't do that. Yikes. Okay, well, let's read the story of the Wraith. The woman's beauty was her ticket to a hedonistic lifestyle. She never lacked for a partner with whom to while away the early hours. Perhaps what befell her was a form of punishment, the tab, come after a long night's carousing. She was struck by an infectious disease. The disease soon ravaged her body, stripping her of her charms. To wither away into a hideous crone while still in the bloom of her youth was too much for the woman to bear. In her bleakest moment, a strange vision came upon her. A chalice of white hung in the air before her and spoke. If you would elude death, forever cede your right to die. Before giving it a moment's further thought, the woman was furiously nodding her assent. Death is but a limitation of the flesh. It is because we inhabit these ephemeral vessels that we die. And so it was that the woman cast her mortal vessel aside. She became a being beyond flesh, naught but a hazy glow. Instantly she knew her decision had been horribly rash. That day began a new existence of boredom and emptiness for her. Gone were the simple pleasures, walking through town, eating a hot meal, chatting with a handsome partner, making YouTube videos. Sorry, I had to do that. The moment she relinquished her right to die, so did she give up the privilege of enjoying life. Too late she learned that life only has meaning, has worth, because it is finite. Life unending is but another form of death. And so she was left to wander and curse her spectral form and her own folly. But she had not entirely forgotten her past self. She still longed to be desired, to feel pretty. Yet no human clothes would suit the thing she had become. Her wanderings brought her to the doorstep of a church. She gazed upon its large stained glass window and was captivated. She touched it. As her fingertips played across the colored shards, they lost their hardness and became fluid and soft as a satin sheet. She wrapped her luminous body in it, donning it as a mantle. The light of her glow flittered through the stained glass shroud, taking on its many vibrant hues. The beauty of it surprised even her, and for a time she was satisfied. Memories of the days when she was still human welled up within her breast. But what is beauty with no one to behold it? She needed an audience, yet her voice could not reach human ears. Her brief joy soured, her new-found glamour lay fallow. It was then that she reached a painful epiphany. Never before had she stopped to realize just how precarious a thing human existence is, how complex the working of society. Holes tore from the surface of her ghostly form, becoming giant gaping mouths. From then, an endless flood of sighs began to pour. Forever deprived of death's release, she wanders the world even now. That's dark, so like people who are so obsessed with not dying are made into ghosts, these wraiths. And then they realize that life only had meaning because it was finite. It's still sad though. So we got to get out the chef stuff that we just got. That's going to be so funny. So awaken with the eruption of magma. That sounds fun. And then for this one, we got to get that frying pan. Where is it? The game is actually really good at giving you stuff that's going to help you in the next fight. So I'm assuming this monster is going to be weak to fire. Because she just has a shroud, right? She's a wraith, so we could probably burn her pretty hard. Anyways, so let's get into it then. Let the chef come out. I decided to travel with Monstrux because I wanted him to accept the truth. It's the only reason I've stayed with him all this way. Let's consider it. He's a good man, our author. Oh, we're in this map. It's like the inside the cells of something. We should really read about this area soon. It's a pretty cool, weird one. It's like we're inside someone's body. Blood cells. I hate this monster. It's the same thing as the cat Sith. It's a ghost, and it's got stained glass robes. It's just such a pain. Okay, so we got that. Boom! Cook us up some food. Oh, that's great. Where you going? Come back here. Stop running from me! Oh, come on! Man, I'm getting my butt kicked. Can't even stay locked on this thing for like even a second. I have absolutely no regrets in spamming this monster. None whatsoever. Okay, I'm gonna die if I don't heal myself.
I will not die.
You literally just died.
I will not die.
I'd not told Monstrux everything. When I killed the monster that had been Amatria, she said one thing.
I never hated you.
Her last words were for him. Words with great weight and profound intention. In her final moments, she had forgiven him. I told this to Monstrux. He let out a faint sob. He realized long ago that this could happen. That somebody else might kill his lover, Amatria. But that did not stop him. It was a road fraught with agony, but only the moments of pain offered respite from his guilt. Paying this great price and bearing the pain in his body was a way of making amends. Monstrux does not fight others. He fights himself. In this battle with himself, Monstrux chooses the most difficult path.
Until I can destroy the monster within me.
The man who is nearly a monster. Monstrux still sacrifices monsters, as if he were sacrificing himself.
It's an interesting story, but I'm not a big fan of Monstrux as a character. I think there's only so much a character can do to redeem themselves, and I kind of feel he's beyond that. Okay, on to the last Avalon Ally chapter, which is the Reaper. The difficulty on this one is higher than the main story, but we're going to do it anyways. Because we're a Monster Hunter fans, so when I see Wyvern, I've got to go. This is the Reaper's Gloom.
They called him the Reaper. He hid under a mask. His robe was splattered with the blood of his victims. The Reaper fought with regard for only one thing: victory. And he would sacrifice his own allies in order to attain it. His fiendish right arm made people wonder just how many had he absorbed. And here I was, partnered with the accursed Reaper. I'm out here on work.
Alright, so we're paired with a bad boy. We're going to hunt a wyvern. I don't know if we've read the story on wyvern. Let's find out. Nope, we haven't. Once there lived an assassin. Following the commands of a prominent nobile, he eliminated powerful adversaries under the cover of night, and gifted with exceptional hearing, his keen ears proved a boon to his work. He identified himself with the bat, and felt a close affinity with its ability to float through the gloom. While working, he mimicked the ways of the bat, covering himself in black, listening attentively, and moving with purpose. One day, he undertook a mission seemingly no more difficult than any other. However, he soon found himself over a barrel. No sooner had he killed his victim than he was ambushed by unknown assailants. Death was all but assured. Suddenly, he heard a whispering in his ear. He turned to see a fleeting vision of a chalice. "Make me an offering of whatever is dear to you." Obeying the voice, he sacrificed his superb hearing. He had lost his ears, and instead bat wings grew in their place. Taken to the air, the assassin flew to safety. Once he was able to reflect, the realization dawned that whoever ambushed him knew he was coming. All became clear. Only his master could have orchestrated the attack. Though his unsavory deeds, the assassin knew a number of the noble's secrets. If such information was ever leaked, his master would lose everything, and so the assassin became the target himself. The next day he returned to the noble as if nothing had happened. When asked about his wings, he replied, "Please spare me your concern." His master had no response. Thereafter the man continued to carry out assassinations with unshakable purpose. At times, the noble's requests were extremely difficult, even bordering on the impossible. His master was trying to kill him, but he completed each mission regardless. Requiring new abilities, he offered up his flesh for further bat-like powers. By developing hind legs, he can cling to the ceiling to conceal himself. However, his human legs became terribly deformed. By turning his skin black, he can melt into the night, though the sun now caused him horrible pain. By emitting ultrasonic waves from his mouth, he could master his surroundings, but his capacity for speech was lost. Gradually, he became more bat than human being. He could have simply slain his master, yet he chose not to. True, the assassin's work in no way was honorable by ordinary standards, but the man had his own sense of honor. He would not kill anyone unless ordered to do so. He was not a simple murderer. Before long, the noble fell ill and passed away. No one could identify the cause of death, but the symptoms resembled a fever born of bats. The noble's death was not by any means that the assassin had intended to cause. Though he may have undergone a bat-like transformation, he still saw himself as a noble practitioner of his art, even if somewhere in his heart he'd wished for his master's death. A rumor emerged about a monster flying off the manor's roof very soon after. This creature was neither bird nor human, but something hideous with the features of a bat. Yeah, we don't want to get censored, so we're not going to say the name of a virus common to bats in this video, but you can guess what it is. So, oh, the irony. My guess is that the bat is also weak to fire, but I'm not a big fan of these two spells, because I think you have to be rather close. It's got to be like a ground monster in order to really pull those off. So let's try something different here. I mean, we could use this one and see what it does. It's kind of like becoming invisible to an assassin is kind of ironic, isn't it? Let's try this other one. Awaken the magic of the basilisk and focus it into fell venom. I like that. I'll try that out as well. So I think we have enough tiers that I could show you Gleipnir. This is more of an Avalon thing, but even a Sanctuarium, we can still pull it off. Let's see if we can get ourselves to int 30. So let's go into fusion. We'll sort by fusible and we'll go to unmade offerings. I don't know if these are new ones though. They don't mark them as new. So I don't know if I had them and I just gave them up, you know, to make something. I don't know. But I don't recognize some of these. So fuse away we shall. Okay. Did we get another level? We did. So in 30. Ooh, we got a Saint's Testament L. That makes the black spells. I wanted that. Your heightened ink unlocked Tales of Sorcery text the Ice Wolf Fang. A Knight Repentant. Okay. So Avalon, let's continue on. Reaper's Gloom. The Wyvern. The Reaper's right arm appears to be paying a heavy price. It is covered in face-like protrusions, all of which are weeping. I love his dialogue. It's so good. Very well written. It's almost as good as the theme music for Kezu. Okay, so let's sneak, unleash. Oh, okay, so it just allows us to hide. Okay, well, we'll hide. We are ninja. Batman. It looks like he saw me, so that was kind of useless. Ooh. Basilisk eyes. I like that. Psh. Poison him. He's not weak to it or anything, so. Let's go ahead and fight him normal. So I think this is a model swap for the Naked King. Well, I don't even know if I've shown you guys yet, so we'll have to do that. There's something about that hunt that I've not done, which everyone says I need to see. Which is apparently if you bring Similia and her sort of charms, or like just the spells that create like those soft, erotic pictures. Apparently he does something very funny, so I'll have to check that out. That's a big cat. Let's kill it. Or orc. Huh. It's so dark. I can't say anything. I love how he just stays flat on his face on the ground. It's funny. What do we have still left to break on him? His head. He's gonna die anyway, so let's just charge attack him. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. Let's do our black right. Glepnir. Rip out the body. Nah! Whip him. Psh. There we go. We got him stuck. Now our other teammates or NPCs can whack him all they want. Keep him trapped. Reaper's just going off here. That would do it. Oof. There goes my arm, though. So what do we get? The Assassin's Wingtip. This is an evasive skill. Awaken the magic of the wyvern to modify the caster's evasion. 4 casts last for 300 seconds. So that's 5 minutes? That's crazy. Let's try it out.
The Reaper, satisfied with the catch, led us to our lodgings. Work with the Reaper begins here and ends here, like clockwork. At night, he goes off alone. One time, I went to the tavern. I was greeted by a man and a woman. Skeleton and Sponsara. Sponsara spoke first, leaning forward in anticipation.
Anything new?
They had already hired me. Uncover the identity of the Reaper. That was their request. Skeleton had a friend named Amicus. Amicus was an accomplished sorcerer. But he went on a journey with the Reaper and never returned. The Reaper had sacrificed Amicus during battle. Amicus had a fiancée. Her name was Sponsara. He had lost a friend, and she a soulmate. Perhaps their wounds will never heal. I had to bring the Reaper to justice. The next day, the Reaper had arrived at our meeting point ahead of me. Little does he know that I have been hired to unmask his identity.
The plot thickens. Fun fact, this is called the Iron Virgin, but in the original Soul Sacrifice, it was called the same as the Japanese name, which is the Iron Maiden, which of course is a very famous torture device from back in the day, so to say. Like way back in the day. I imagine they changed it because of Iron Maiden, the band, but it's like that Iron Maiden's a term that predates all of that stuff, so maybe someone at Sony was just paranoid, I don't know. But they decided to change it regardless. So let's read the lore behind the Iron Virgin. There once was a fine city, and within it a young knight. He was handsome and strong both, the perfect man, and the ladies of the city took notice. In this fine city there also lived a plain girl. She too was among the women who harbored feelings for the young knight, but she knew he was far beyond her grasp and locked her feelings away deep in her heart. The young knight marched off to battle and returned with grievous wounds. His bedside saw an endless parade of well-wishing women eager to tend to his needs. Their aim was less to mend the young knight's body than to steal away his heart. They bickered and shoved, desperate to claw their way ahead in line to see him. The plain girl was struck with anxiety. By no means wealthy, she lacked the means to procure even a suitable get-well gift for the alien knight. Perhaps some flowers, thought she, and she went to a field to pick some. She crawled on hand and knee to find the fairest blooms, her garments caked in mud in the process. With bouquet in hand, she set off for the young knight's home. But the sight there froze her in her footsteps. A flock of women breathed him, eagerly nursing him to health, each one prettier than the finest flowers she had found. She crushed the flowers she had toiled to gather underfoot. Anger and exasperation took her in waves. At her plainness, at her indecision, at her cowardice. She began to curse everything about herself. Then, just as suddenly, she faced a second spell-blinding sight. A strange chalice of white perched on thin air before her. It spoke. "If you were to curse your weak and homely flesh, offer it to me." She did as she was bade. Who can say what thoughts drove her in that moment? She opened her veins and spilled her life blood upon the earth. Where her blood pooled, soon did the soil begin to breathe horribly, only for flowers of brilliant gold to spring forth. She attempted it again and watched the results. The woman quickly grasped the power she had attained. Her split blood guaranteed life to all it touched. This is how she was able to call upon proud blossoms, but from a patch of barren dirt. At first, the woman did not understand why she'd been granted this power. Surely some other power would have been more appropriate to win the man's affections, she thought. The woman plucked an aurorous bouquet. She thought to bring those to the young knight, but then thought better of it. She had a far more splendid gift to offer. This mysterious power she'd acquired must have been manifested in order to grant her heart's deepest desire. Once she thought about it carefully, the woman realized that it was, in fact, quite the appropriate power indeed. He was injured. The gift of her blood would make a finer medicine than any apothecary could dream. But the grim course of action that pure affection spurred was unimaginable. The woman used an array of torture tools to extract the blood from her body. She drained enough to fill a barrel, then another, and another again. Preparations complete, she set out to meet the object of her affections. Not wishing to see her blood-smeared face, she wore a mask of iron. Yet in her frenzy, she had not realized the full extent of how the torture had ruined her. Her head dangled precariously from her body by a scrap of flesh, ready to fall off. Carrying her bloody barrels in tow, she came before the young knight. The first greeting he offered the woman was a scream of abject terror. The shock at witnessing her broken, bloodied form was greater than the alien knight's heart could withstand. Its beating stopped, and the young man left this world forever. The woman had failed to win his heart, failed to even share one fleeting conversation. She cried and wailed, losing what sanity remained amid her lamentations. This heartbreak was the last straw for her broken body, and the few remnants of flesh holding her head to her neck tore, coming apart completely. Like as not, she pursues the ghost of her beloved still, wandering the lands with tears of blood streaking from her eyes. Sheesh. People really gotta stop simping. Like, that's the message I'm getting here is stop simping. So what do I want to? I want to fix my black right, of course. What do we want to use? Iron Maiden is a tough monster for a lot of people. Let's go blood for this one. On we go. Skeletum has lost his best friend. Sponsara has lost her fiancé. I cannot turn down their request. I have agreed to investigate the Reaper. I mean, yeah, if you're just killing all your teammates, that's not a good thing to do. I'm sure there's people in like MMOs that do that kind of stuff. What's right in front of us too? Best written dialogue ever. Here, watch. I'll mimic him. Watch. How did I do? Did I do good? This is a cool monster. She's huge. She's super, super aggressive. She's got a mace. Flinging her head around. Trying to get away so I can show you a good shot of her. She's so cool. Ow. Okay, well, there goes our buff. We're going to have to use the regenerous seed. Lock onto her. I'm just going to wail at her. eating herself? I don't know what she was doing there. I know I'm dead now. Reaper!
I will not die.
Save me, please.
I will not die.
Thank you. He's not too bad, I guess. He's willing to save me, so that's good to know. If kindly asked. I made him be going like crazy over here. She's like, ah! This is where shield would come in handy, you know, and armor. She's just so hyper aggressive. I would love to control her though. That would be a really fun mode. Okay, so we got that cursed part. That's good. Let's renew some offerings. What other parts do we got? We got her head. Oh, she's almost dead anyways. Okay, and her knees. We're not going to break all her parts. There's no way. So let's just wail at her. Oh wow. Okay, destroyed all cursed parts achieved. Wow. Okay. I didn't think we would get it. Oh, we did. But now we just gotta make sure we don't die. Blood is OP, man. I'm telling you. Oh, she's cute. I like the glow. That's awesome. Yeah, we're not killing her. I don't care what the Reaper thinks. She's coming with me. Whether he likes it or not. Oh, we got both. Yeah, because we broke all the parts. So we got the Maiden's Hairpin, which is a stasis one, which allows us to stop time within the arena area, which I still don't know how to use well. Then we have the Maiden's Bindings, which is a mine. Magic of the Iron Virgin summons a head that attacks nearby foes. That sounds fun. We'll try that out.
The sun set, and we returned to our base town. We parted ways as was normal, except I stayed on his tail. I had tried to follow him before, but he always seems to slip away. Tonight was no exception. One moment he was in clear view, the next moment, gone. I went to the bar to report to Skeleton and Sponsara. Sponsara was clearly disheartened the moment she realized that I had nothing new to tell them. Skeleton did his best to calm Sponsara as she became emotional. Every word, every gesture showed how much he cared. Sponsara had too many drinks and passed out on the counter. Skeleton, who normally spoke little, suddenly opened up. He spoke with a warm kindness. He told me that he was falling in love with his friend's fiancée, and that Sponsara had shown a mutual fondness. In fact, they had made the promise that they would live together. Once they exacted revenge. The next day came. The Reaper stood waiting at our usual spot. The monsters we would face on this day were fiercer than ever before. I knew that today I might be the sacrifice. just as Amicus was long ago.
Oh, come on, another Wraith. Okay, I'm going to do everything in my power to cheese my way through this one. Here we go, the Mine of the Iron Virgin. I want to try that out. Other than that, I think Blood is going to be fine. We're just going to lock on and just go absolutely crazy. I don't even care about breaking parts, because I just don't. And armor. I need armor. I keep forgetting about that. Armor helps a ton in this game. The Reaper doesn't say very much, well, like anything. He seems to consider me his friend, however. He trusts me. Say something poetic. That was moving. It's the best haiku I've ever heard in my life. So let's see what the Iron Virgin head looks like. My God. So it's in the air. Oh, that's perfect, because the Wraith flies through the air. It'll hit these mines and it'll blow up and hurt them. That's perfect. See, the game is great. It gives you all these spells that are useful for the next hunt. So if you actually just grind the current hunt that you're doing, you should be able to get spells that are like uber powerful that are going to help you out in the next pact. I imagine a lot of people are not doing that, but I like it. Okay, Wraith, be prepared to run into some mines. Oh, wow. Okay. How many can I summon more than... Oh, I can summon a whole bunch? This is awesome. Oh, wow. How many can I summon? Is there a limit? Yeah, it seems to be a limit. Gone. See? The power of blood. Of course, you don't break every part, but hey. If it works, it works.
The Reaper had been hit. His mask was cracked, revealing part of his face. The broken mask revealed a sight of the very man who had asked me to do this.
Let me explain.
Skeleton spoke matter-of-factly. He admitted he was the Reaper. He had led a life of bloodshed and murder. But that everything changed the moment he absorbed a certain man. Amicus. But Amicus was unique. His passion outlived his own life. This passion flowed through the Reaper's right arm and took root in his mind. It was overpowering. Amicus's love for Sponsara. He concealed the fact he was the Reaper, approaching Sponsara under his real name, Skeleton. He had kept up his charade since. How devastated would Sponsara be if she ever knew the truth? The notorious Reaper was torn. With her fiancé murdered, Skeleton had become her emotional rock. Whatever affection she showed toward Skeleton caused him guilt. The guilt was weighing on him. If he, the Reaper, were to die, then Sponsara's wish for revenge would be fulfilled. But at the same time, she would lose someone dear.
They call me the Reaper, and although it may be short-lived, I have accepted you as a friend. Did you ever wonder why? Should I live, or should I die? I need somebody to decide for me.
The Reaper raised his accursed arm and descended upon me.
Let's fight this this guy. I don't know, what do you guys think about him? You got I mean, he's still sacrificing his partners in battle. That's not cool. So I don't care if he fell in love with the victim's wife because he absorbed the victim's love. It's not his to have. So for fun, what are we going to use this time? We got to do something for fun. Do have a unique blitz here. That's much more powerful than the rest. The magic of the Pegasus shrouds the embody, enabling an aerial blitz. Let's try that. We also had a new evade item to check out. Here we go. The Assassin's Wingtip. Lasts for like 5 minutes. That's crazy. Let's try that out. Should be a good time. Skeletum confessed to me that he was the Reaper. He told me he could no longer go on living a double life.
My life hangs in the balance, and you shall decide my fate.
Oh, it's another ground one. Okay. Ouch. Man, does he hit for a lot. Holy crazy. Okay, hang on a second. I gotta get serious. I didn't realize he hits for so much. Sheesh.
It was I who slayed her betrothed. How Sponsara cursed the gods.
I mean, the Blitz is no different than the other Blitzes, if you ask me.
Covenant is far closer at hand, however.
Really wasn't. I was really hoping that wouldn't be a ground one because ground ones are not good against sorcerers, as you can tell. Oh wow, that was fast. Okay, so he's not. He doesn't have much health. He's strong though. What to do? What to do? Looks like the game is going to tell me what our author did. I don't have to decide, which is good. It looks like he's got a bad Halloween costume on. Which reminds me, I hope you all had a very good Halloween. Okay, let's see the end of his story.
Kill me.
That was what he really wanted. He wanted an easy way out. Liberation from guilt. I told him how I felt. He'd chosen to live as the Reaper. Now, he must reap what he had sown. Skeleton settled onto the ground, moaning with woe. I have not seen the Reaper since. But after some time, I received a letter from Skeleton. But it was tinged with grief. The sacred chalice has the power to grant a wish. He would use it to erase Sponsara's memories of and affection for Skeleton. Finally, the Reaper could die. And Sponsara would have her revenge. It was a grievous conclusion. Perhaps it was a self-inflicted punishment. The Reaper would return to battle in search of the sacred chalice to avenge Sponsara without harming her. A final gesture to the one he loved.
Interesting. Well, that was a interesting tale, but the Avalon folk are hit and miss for me. Some of them I really like as people, some not so much. So we've now completed all of the sorcerer deeds. Obviously, we have tons of packs, like unbelievable amounts of packs. And the end game, the Eternal Maze, which we haven't done yet. So from next episode, we will be going back to revise The Memories Remain and doing the next chapter, which is called An Interlude in Time. It's going to be a rather okay-sized one, but probably long story. So it may be its own episode, probably. But I hope you guys look forward to it. Anyways, hope you like this video, and until next time, happy hunting.